Turf Talk with Drew Miller.
And last but certainly not least, we have Miss Leah Withrow and Miss Morgan Hunter to wrap up our series live in Greenville, North Carolina at the inaugural event of the All-Female Women's Grounds Crew for the Softball Little League World Series. To be completely honest, this was probably a redundant episode, as Leah's been on multiple times as well as Morgan. But it is always a great time getting to talk with them about what they're doing, where they've been, and really just have a blast. They're really good friends of mine, and it's been great to get to know them over the years and to be able to, again, develop this friendship and even more networking when it comes to being a part of this industry. And what they do for this industry is unparalleled as the minor league groundskeepers on this crew. And I'm very lucky to call them my friends. They've been incredible mentors, especially to the girls in my program. Leah's always reached out, even way back when we lost our dear friend Rylan. She was always there, and I can't thank her enough for that. And Morgan for always, again, showing strength for our students and being a great mentor at this event for Liz, Julie, and all the younger kids that are on the crew. And again, it was a blast getting to talk to them again, see what's going on in their lives, and to see the significance of the event for them. Being able to show, again, a side that a lot of people in this industry don't quite comprehend, talking to them about the added pressure of being a female in this industry, and to have to show how they're better and stronger because of the number of female groundskeepers there are, which is just added weight that really isn't necessary, because, again, time and time again, they prove to be the best in our industry. And that's what this event truly showed. And for them to be there, to be able to represent the females in the turf grass industry as a whole, was something truly special, and truly something that all of us as sports turf professionals and turf grass management professionals need to take note of, because, again, they're going to lead us into the next generation. And to have them come on and talk about that and really show the significance of what we're doing and what was done at this event truly is an inspiring thing. So Leah and Morgan, as always, I love you guys and I appreciate everything that you do. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Tiger Turf Talk. All right, we're back here in Greenville, North Carolina at the Softball Little League World Series with two of the best people in the world. We have Morgan Hunter and Leah Withrow, minor league groundskeepers. Columbia, South Carolina, and the Reno Aces. Is it Fireflies?
Yep.
See, I remember stuff. So I'll start it off with the question we all love and know. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I had to get the face. Come on. I will start with the question we talked about, though. This is, monumental for what our industry is and where we're at right now compared to when we went in. Again, we're close to the same class, graduating from turf. At different universities. What has this experience been like for you, being able to be a part of the first all-female grounds crew?
It's weird to just work with one other woman, let alone 15 other women. This is the first time I've ever worked, I think, alongside another female grounds crew person, and let alone to have 15 around you. It's just been amazing. It's indescribable kind of feeling.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, same thing. I've had one game day person when I was in Chicago, and that was, 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's just weird.
Yeah, it's really cool to be on the sidelines, being able to watch you guys work. And like you always say, it's just another day at the office, but it is something so much bigger than any of us could really imagine. So off the serious talk, You guys having fun, enjoying it, having a good time with everybody, getting to know, see different people. What's it been like working with the different people? I mean, different levels all across the country, long tenured high schoolers, across the board. How's it been getting to know everyone and really over time, like you can tell everybody's getting way more comfortable with each other and getting used to like the strategic planning for getting everything ready. What's it been like for you guys, and how do you see the rest of the week going?
I mean, it's been great just to see how wide of a range of women we have, because we literally have a high school student and we have a retired head groundskeeper with us and everything in between. And then getting to see all the different ways everybody does things, and then how different people manage different things because of their different climates. We're all from a completely different area of the country. So to come here was a change for me. And
No, just keep talking. You're good.
coming here was a change for me. The humidity has me unwell, but
welcome to the East Coast, Leah,
we're
during
learning,
the
and
summer.
so that's completely different.
Me and Morgan are like,
This isn't anything.
this is like amazing.
Yeah.
What are you talking
Anything
about?
in the double digits humidity-wise,
No.
I'm like, oh man,
Like 12%?
yeah. Reno,
90% is a
Yeah.
good day around here.
But she was
Reno-
talking about 44 being so much today, and I'm like, no, it's not 85 or 90, so we're good.
90 is like you're breathing water almost.
Yeah.
It's bad. Sorry. Go ahead.
I just can't imagine that, because like Reno never gets like unless it's raining, it's an average of like 5% every day. So
It's not even that at like midnight here.
You sitting with all the crickets and all the bugs. You're like, ugh.
So it's just very different, and it's a cool experience because I don't think I would get this anywhere else. There's no other way to duplicate what we have going right now. And I don't know if this is just a women's thing or just professionals when they all get in a room together. Everyone's the best of the best here, pretty much, at what they do or have done.
Except for me, but go ahead.
Well, you're not a woman, so you weren't counted.
You know what? That's the
in that
nicest
group.
thing you ever said to me. Thank you.
And just like the organization, we came in
Oh, yeah.
and completely flipped the crew trailer around.
Still laughing at it too, Morgan.
Wiped down the entire whiteboard and just made an entire organizational chart. We had everything in line. Everything we were doing was everything's been to the T, and I think that's what you get with, one, women are just naturally more organized, and two, I think just all of us being complete professionals and the best at what we do and wanting to show the world that the pressure was on, and we tried to execute the best we could.
Absolutely. And you guys have, honestly, from, again, the sidelines and seeing you guys do everything, it's been great. Especially incorporating, again, people who might not be as skilled or as professional in the sense of they're learning for the first time, But how about you, Morgan? How's it been for you?
I mean, like the younger kids, it's fun to see them like throw them in there and be like, okay, you're doing this, and they're like, no, I can't do that. It's like, no, you can do it. It's fine.
Yeah.
Like, if you mess up, you mess up. We'll fix it. I messed up the boxes the first night that I was here, so.
Nobody knew that until now, just so you know. They weren't messed up.
Those young ones, they're a little scared, and then you get them through doing it once, and then they want to just keep doing it.
And
then
they
they
start
want to
biting
try
off more.
Yeah, they want to
Yeah.
try something else. They
Yeah.
want to try something else. And like I was just telling Amy this, and son, I was like, I would have killed at 16 or in college to have been a part of this, to have been surrounded by other women in the industry, because I was the only female going through my program at NDSU at the time. Well, like I said, I've only ever worked with men, so like to be 18 trying to get into this industry for one, and then just to be surrounded by all women at this event would have been like life-changing for me. So I'm really hoping these young girls are understanding this
Yes, they are.
and appreciating it.
Talking to them, they do understand where they're at, which is great. Because, like you said, 18, 19-year-old you in this situation be freaking out,
Yeah.
So, no, I couldn't agree with you more on that. You guys are talking my language, by the way. Seeing them go out there, bite a little more off, see where they're at. It's like our classroom, But, yeah, what do you guys see this sort of moving on to the future with this, like, different projects, same place, woman in turf events type thing?
I mean,
In sports, I should say.
There was just talk about maybe trying to get it to go to the NFL for the Super Bowl and stuff. So, I mean, doesn't really have a limit. It's just
Gonna
getting
call
our foot
Ed
in the door.
Magnan up. Be like, Ed, what's going on, man?
There's a lot of possibilities because just seeing like the traction that got built over the turf Twitter that's been happening, like all the men that have reached out and said like, this is awesome, this is amazing, like we would love to have you come out, and like anybody would invite. I mean, I'm hoping we get to like College World Series and we get to the softball College World Series or the actual World Series or like Super Bowl or any NFL game where you can show a group of 16 women absolutely killing on the field would
game.
be killing it.
It'd be cool too to grow it enough to where like if all of us can't be there, then like say me and you are somewhere, or you know, like at least getting it to where like a couple of us can get to all these different events.
That's the thing. Like this is gonna get kind of big.
Yeah.
Like right now, 16 is a lot, but it's just enough for everybody to have a hand in everything. Once we start building traction and more people want to join, like it gets to the point where like there's people with their empty hands that are like, well, I want to help, but there's just too many people. Yeah. And if we can get it to big enough where, oh, I can't make it to this one, but we're going to do this one in the fall. If we have multi-events in a year, you can make one a year. That would be the goal, I think.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more on that. When it comes to, I mean, even like the Little League World Series, we have like 7 fields, you know, that would be pretty cool. I know it's sort of like in junction with this kind of messes with that, but Jeff Fowler and those guys having you up would be incredible, you know. So a little shift, a little more normal talk away from all the women in turf and everything. You guys are coming up on the end of your seasons. Obviously, minor league baseball is an animal of its own, and you're getting to that point where you're like, is it over yet? Are we there yet? Like,
I have 18 games.
See, we got a countdown.
21.
Well, how's the year been? How's everything going? I know you were talking about it's very dry out in Reno, and obviously it's humid here. So how's this season gone in compared to years past?
The second half of the season is always a grind because you're peak stress, peak heat, peak exhaustion. Your crew starts to drop off. It's just try to grind out these last games. This season, second full season I've had with this new field was much better than the first. Much stronger turf.
Talking about babying it so it gets to this point,
Yeah, a lot less babysitting this year, which was awesome. My assistant is now more veteran and doing
Shout
great.
out Max. We love you, bud.
Max.
We love you.
He won't listen to this.
I'll tell him to listen to it.
Okay. So he has now gotten a lot more confidence and is completely comfortable, which is awesome for me to be able to come and do stuff like this.
Yeah.
So that way I feel better. Weather wasn't super kind to us this year. It's been unusually windy
I
and
don't think it's been nice
dry.
to anybody anywhere this year.
It's been super hot. I can't keep moisture in my grass, my dirt, myself. It's just the Sahara
Dehydrated
out there.
Leah?
It's just hot and dry.
We need some more liquid IV over here.
Yeah, liquid IV though, game changer. But other than that, we've been, I think, going through a pretty, knock on wood, easy season.
You're good. There you go. I wasn't making it up, Leah. Leah doesn't trust a thing I say about anything.
I didn't say
She's
you were
like,
lying. I just
well,
didn't say you weren't lying.
It's kind of like, do I trust this guy? No, so let me check. You know?
The trust is,
I've given you nothing to not trust me for. Have I?
I don't know. You say a lot of things.
What does that mean?
Oh, just making sure the table's wood. Anyway.
Well, no, that opened a whole other can of worms, but we'll talk about that later.
Morgan. How's your season
Great
going?
transition there. It's been crazy. Labor's been terrible, and
Really?
weather has been also terrible, but we're surviving and getting to the end, so.
So with labor, obviously, we're doing a presentation at SFMA about sort of
I
branding.
got hoodwinked.
Again,
Maybe that's where the trust issue came from.
It was why. I'll pull up the
He
text.
was like,
I'll pull up the text.
maybe kind of, sort of, do you want to possibly do a talk at SFMA?
Hope you
I-
said
I'm-
yes, because you're already doing it.
No. She also said absolutely. Like it wasn't like
Me thinking there's no way they're going to let us talk about anything. they're not going to pick this up. I was like, sure, whatever. And then
You just not trust like I'm able to teach or anything?
I didn't say that. I'm just talking personally. I don't think I would trust me to speak in front of a bunch of people. So when
Again,
It got
trusting
a-
me to do it.
when it got approved, I was like, oh, okay, that was a gamble I shouldn't have taken.
She
Here we are.
was very hesitant when I told her, and then it was, oh, they're paying for hotel. I was like, all right, yep, I guess that was the
I can
only
be bought.
That's a
upside.
good bonus.
I could be bought. Oh, yeah. So my question was, with labor, has there been anything you've been trying to do? I know we talked about this. We're going to talk about with her social media. She was able to hire people based off of seeing things like that. Have you tried anything different this year? Obviously, your first year as the head. It also kind of was rough for you because you got in like the week before the season started. So,
Yeah.
has there been anything you like tried different, or for high schoolers or local community centers or whatever to find labor?
I mean, we're just trying to reach out anywhere we can, but my biggest thing is I've been trying to really give the guys, like, responsibilities. Like, I'm not always doing the same thing, and I'm trying to get all of them to do different things, because then they feel like they're, which, I mean, I do rely on them a lot, but, I mean, they feel like that.
Yeah.
The ownership is huge.
Yeah.
Ownership in your work and, like, the pride
Yeah.
that they get when they accomplish a task.
Like, I've been sharing, like, all of our ratings with them and, like, being transparent, like, okay, we got a good rating on this, or this one wasn't so good, like, who was on it, like, let's figure it out, and we'll, like,
I love
work
that.
through it.
I love that.
Yep.
It's like you with Max and the artistry on the mound type thing,
Yeah.
And I always tell, like, providing the opportunity to be creative, ownership of what they do will make them come back every single time, Because if they fail, they're going to want to do better. If they do well, they're going to want to go beyond what they did before.
Yeah.
So it's definitely really a cool thing to see, especially when they're like young. So I'll talk about Liz because she's like, I mean, I didn't know until you told me that she was interested in doing this over the note and whatnot. She has put in 110% on everything. She's wanting to do more. She's mowing over the summer, learning all the different mowers, making sure she knows how to do it properly, doing crazy patterns in Bermuda that doesn't stripe. I'm like, great for you, but like I don't care. But it's something that you can see in the students and in the kids that a Leah Withrow in 10 years, like having that passion for what they're doing and wanting to make more of it. That's where I can see like something like this being like even greater and greater. And that's what I was talking to the person that interviewed you about, the idea that an all-female crew in front of all-female athletes, hey, this is a possibility.
Yeah.
These girls are badass. Like, you can do this if this is something you're interested in, So I can't thank you enough for what you guys do with that. But, yeah, I'm losing my train of thought. Sorry. I'm babbling.
Lock in, focus.
Okay, well,
I
I
was
can't
gonna
focus.
go off your creativity thing though. Like that's a good outlet for us too, because like day in and day out, the homestands can get long. So having that, like, oh, I really enjoy the patterns, like her crazy patterns, or coming up
It's
with
like something to look forward to in our off weeks, just because you look at the calendar, you see, oh, we got a corporate batting practice, oh, we got a kids camp, oh, you got like all these events and all this other stuff other people want you to do, and there's never really something that you get to or want to do that you get to do sometimes on our schedule. So when the chance does occur where we do get a full off week, and you have the time and you want to put something in, like, it feels awesome when you see it like come to life. We actually, Max has a secret project going on currently, actually right now. He's probably just about done or should be done, and he'll be sending us a picture, but we've literally been working on this pattern since November. And like
Should we call them in? I can do that. I can do this.
We
on
flagged
this.
and grafted all
There's a
out on
whole
the
phone right
outfield.
here.
We
You're
went
excited.
all the way to the nines. We spent all winter planning it out. We spent all spring now, like, making it come to life. And like, we've had 2 weeks. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
We've had 2 weeks off, so we've been like really dialed into getting this pattern, because if
2 weeks.
if
Wow,
it hits,
good
it
for you.
hits.
That's awesome.
And I'm super excited about it. So we'll see. But that creativity thing, like that, one, it gets people interested, because if you get a good enough pattern and it goes viral for whatever reason on Twitter, on TikTok, on Instagram, and somebody else tweets it. Yeah, somebody else tweets it that has a fancy blue check mark, and then some other people.
Leah's all after the blue check mark. Let me tell you.
I just want to retweet from a blue check mark. I don't want one.
I'm not saying you personally. I'm saying you're after those blue check marks.
Yeah, because it reaches a larger audience, and then you get kids or people being like, "That is awesome.
Yeah.
I want to. Who does this? How do I do this?" If you look at like my TikTok comments, half of most of my video comments are, "How do I get into this? What is this? Yeah. This is my dream job." Like stuff like that. And it's just posting a picture of a mowing pattern. It's not hard. You just have to get to those people. So
absolutely,
those creative opportunities
they make the job more fun for sure
for us, and it hopefully lures people in.
Yeah, and it's funny because there have been times where like we'll have stuff on social media and they'll be like, "Well, you're just causing problems for the field. That's not sound." I'm like, "Really? You want to come out and see it? Because it seems pretty good to me." So, is there anything else that you guys like focus on when it comes to? Obviously, you're saying Max is about to send you something crazy. When it comes to like doing things different, seeing things sort of with your own stamp on it, you know, being a few of the head groundskeepers that are women, and obviously like in this industry who can do more than most of the men. No offense to them, because you guys care more. Like you were saying earlier, it's just your nature. What do you do to sort of put your own stamp on things?
I think uniquely our situations are same but different, where we both stayed at the facility we were assistants at. We didn't take a head job somewhere else at a new ballpark that we had not worked under somebody in. So I took over for the great Joe Hill. Love that man. Great guy.
We'll talk about Joe later.
Shout out Joe Hill. He is genuinely one of my favorite human beings. Best boss I've had, who genuinely cared, took the time to teach me. I had also worked at that ballpark under a different head groundskeeper, Eric Blanton, but I knew that ballpark super well. So when I took over, it was super familiar. I understood how the first head guy did it, how the second head guy did it, and then how I would do it differently. So I was able to do that, where Morgan had a little bit of a different situation, but still worked under her boss before taking over, so she could twist it.
Yeah, I mean, like I knew there were some, flaws in areas that I wanted to definitely pick up and not let be flaws. Maybe, because I mean, every groundskeeper has different things that bother them. Like I could go to her field and there'd be something that's like, well, this is weird, and she could do the same to mine.
Oh yeah.
How to use a broom, maybe.
Well, it's just like you haven't edged this warning track in a hot minute. There's a lot of conditioner in your lip.
Yeah, but I mean, there's just
There's a
different
lot of conditioner in your left field.
Yeah.
Don't do
Just
that.
So
Dude,
there's.
that was it hurt me a little bit when I was doing it.
Oh, it hurt me so much.
Spend hours trying
I
to
was
get
sitting there.
conditioner
I was like, Liz, we are never doing this on our field. It's like I will never be trying to get this much conditioner.
I mean, for this event though, like you got to make it happen.
Yeah, we had to do it once for Steelers training camp. It was like, for some reason, they couldn't go to the artificial field. They wanted to do it on the practice. It was like dead center on a college field that wasn't a sand base or anything. So I was like, oh shit, here we go. Like, we gotta get rid of this. Yeah. So, but no, I mean, that's what happens when you have to think on the fly, especially when a field, again, nothing against the field here, obviously it's been here forever, but it's not a sand base and not prepared to withstand rain like that. So
it's a fun learning curve, I think, for all of us that are coming from our spoiled little sand-based field that,
you learn to be creative really quickly.
Yeah.
Yes,
dig
100%.
a hole and put a sump pump in it.
My fields are closer to this one than your guys. So.
But it's still, you're learning under Chris, who's been doing this for a while, and you see how he likes things done, and then like if he were to ever leave or somebody else takes over, like we might do it something different next year if he's not here. And it's the same thing for both of us when we took over. It was I really like this, but I think I would maybe change it a little bit here, or I never liked the way Joe did this, so we're trashing that.
Friggin' Joe.
Friggin' Joe. Best guy ever.
Best guy ever. Stupid. So we'll go into that. Obviously, we've talked about mentors and how you guys have become mentors to even the girls that are here now. You know, interviewed one of the younger ones earlier, and they're like, I was so excited to meet Leah. And I was like, that's really cool. She's like, everything she does.
Don't meet your
is
heroes,
awesome.
kids.
You are just taking a dump left, right, and center here. What are we doing?
Dump on me, dump on
Well, heck,
yourself, dump
even
on
when I
Joe.
got the job in Columbia, they were like, "Why are you going to be the new, Leah posting on TikTok?" And I was like, "I am not Leah. Leah can have
Morgan's
Leah's
like,
thing."
I'm not doing TikTok.
Like, no.
I am not about that life.
Well, so
You need to get an assistant that does that. You know,
We
where you don't have to
had-
do anything.
Yeah.
good idea. We had this talk in Savannah.
Yeah.
So obviously, like, our generation looks up to, like, the Nicole Sherrys and the Heather Nabosnys because that's all we had
Yeah.
going through school and now professionally. And when I got my promotion and, like, all the media wanted to hype it all up the same way they did with Morgan, because it's like, new and exciting and we get it, it's rare, and they want to highlight it. But
You guys
it
are
was
badasses. We get it now.
super overwhelming. It was unbelievably overwhelming, and
Oh,
like
yeah.
I had heartburn for like 2 weeks over all the interviews and all the newspaper articles and like the attention. I just was like, I have this little bubble. I have the job I have because I don't like people.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, this,
Stay out of my shop. Go away.
it was just a lot. So I called Nicole, who
the
again,
the
in
one
this-
that's dealt with all this for a very
again
long
in this
time.
industry, like, you can call anybody anytime with anything and they're happy to answer. And Nicole was awesome, and she's like, you don't have to do it, you really don't. Like, Heather Nabosny doesn't do a lot of media and she does, and she said, I know 16-year-old me would have loved to see somebody doing it, and that's what got me through those interviews. She's like, I didn't like it a lot at first either, because I knew that's not my personality type, but I knew the impact it would have. And then we were talking about this. It was like Morgan's the same way. Like, we had to drag her into the shed to get her to do this podcast.
No, we didn't. I don't know what she's talking about.
We
I
did not
asked
kidnap or
very-
tie Morgan up at
I
all.
asked very nicely, and I am a good person. Why are you trying to make me look like a terrible human being here? Leah.
So we're just different.
Yeah.
We can be
Morgan can
both
handle an
women,
interview.
and we can both
I
be
can
head
handle it. Doesn't
groundskeepers,
mean I
but we
like
can
it.
both be different.
Is it as
head
bad as you think it
groundskeepers.
would be, Morgan?
No.
No, and again, like, those, you're talking about stuff that I didn't want to, like, force you to talk about, but, like, no, it's fine. Understanding, like, the pressures of that, there really is no one in this industry that has that, you know, other than you guys. And
Well,
it's,
I didn't necessarily. I should have called Leah whenever I got the job and everything, but I shut down. I was like, I'm going home for a week. Like, I have to see my family.
she
Like,
answered me.
I gotta get out of here and like.
I guess I did wait the 2 week, the grace period or
Yeah,
something.
you did wait. That was after I got back from Vic to see my family.
I was like,
No.
I don't want to be too.
It's hard. It's a really overwhelming thing at first, because you're just trying to, like, ground yourself into the new position you got. Like, you're handed
An entire.
an
city.
entire field with this huge budget, all these people who need your guidance and your knowledge, and then you have outside things happening on top of all of that, and you're just trying to figure out what the heck is going on.
And there's no
No.
slow period, so no matter when you get the job, like in the off season, it's
Yeah.
special events and that kind of stuff.
And it's building a new budget,
And
and
it's
it's,
getting ready,
hiring,
yeah.
and it's meetings, and
Yeah.
it's planning for the next year. Like, it's just the head groundskeeper. The one thing I severely underestimated was the office work.
Oh my gosh.
I severely underestimated that as
But
a.
we have calendars for that.
Oh, I have an insane amount of calendars
Morgan,
because
do you
of
have
this.
that many calendars?
I don't have that many calendars, but I have 8 calendars.
Her calendars have calendars. Did you know that?
I've heard
and
about
sticky
the calendars.
notes.
Well, mine is full of sticky notes because I'm too lazy to do the paperwork that can get rid of my sticky notes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Understandable.
It's so, like, that whole transition period is a lot
Yeah.
in general, and then the outside forces was just a lot. But like you said, Liz and other girls that are at this event and other girls that didn't make it, like, look to see that stuff when you repost it on Twitter or when you post it on Instagram, or it shows up in the local news media on a USA Today random thing. Like, those girls really need to see that it's a possibility. Like,
That's
Yeah.
a lot of the pressure, though, too, is like, you're not just like representing her field or me representing mine. I'm representing every woman that's out there, proving that we can do this job.
And I think what this event does is just put that on like a higher level, which is awesome. And it's with all of you. It's not just like one or two, you know.
I think it started off high pressure. That first game was like,
Oh, yeah.
But it's also you're in a whole new environment, a whole new
New
field,
people.
different tools. Like you're just trying to figure
New
out
measurements.
Yeah.
So I thought the same thing when I walked out. I became like late last night or so. I was like, oh yeah, the Little League's got the whole box in the back goes like this.
It's
I still don't
a
understand it.
Catcher trapezoid, not
Trapezoid.
a catcher's box.
Yeah.
My bad. My apologies. I just
Geometry with
completely.
Leah.
It's
Catcher's
a
trapezoid.
new segment on Tiger Turf Talk, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know. Yeah, it was a lot that first time, but
Yeah.
I mean, we really got in sync by the second time.
yeah.
And then all of a sudden,
We're almost
it
too
just-
efficient.
Yeah, it was now. And now
Like, we
it's
got
just
time to water,
flowing.
people.
Yeah.
Take your time. It's
Yeah,
okay.
now we're
Yep.
just flowing.
Leah's like, can I go around again? All right,
But
let's
I
do
think
it.
it kind of relieves some of that pressure because now we're just doing it, and like there's new people coming into the stadium
Yeah.
now every game, and they're just seeing us do everything, like literally everything, top to bottom,
Yeah.
Yeah.
in a complete fashion, in top-notch fashion, and I think that kind of proves everything we've been trying to relieve some of the pressure.
Yeah.
No, and again, you guys are kicking ass out there. I mean, the other thing that people don't understand about these kinds of events is the pace and the time and
Yeah.
the getting everything ready to go. And then it's
Yesterday
like
did
you're
not
saying,
help.
No, and like again, rain happens, and usually you have a field that can take the water, so it's like
Yeah.
okay, go, go, go. Like we would have been playing that third game probably if there was no issues with drainage and whatnot. Like it was. There's so much to this event. I mean, even like talking with like event planners and the people at ESPN and things like that, like there are so many things that people don't see. And I think you guys do a big part in showing that, you know.
Baby Butterball.
My man. It's a mini-me, right?
It really is Chris's mini-me.
Chris's mini-me, his little 3-year-old son, 2-year-old son?
Yeah, two.
2-year-old. Future turf manager, hopefully. You never know.
I will say one of my favorite things about working here, and especially yesterday in high pressure situations, working with people who deal with high pressure situations constantly, it's so calming. Like I never once felt overwhelmed or under the gun, or no one yelled, no one shouted, no one was in a
That's
panic
very rare.
or in a fury, which is what I'm normally used to. The front office comes down when it's raining and like the world's on
What do you
fire.
need? What's going on? Ah!
Yeah, screaming, what are we gonna do? Who do we
Tart,
need to
no,
call?
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
what are we
It's
doing?
like, stop yelling.
Get out of my face.
Take it down a notch. If it's gonna rain, it's gonna rain, and it'll all be okay.
Guess what? Mother Nature doesn't care what you think. So, yeah, I mean, that's something that I think, again, of what you guys are doing here is bringing all of that to the forefront of everything. Now, there's been a lot of fun going on around here, and I wanted to talk about it with you guys because,
Your screen went black. I don't know if that matters.
yeah. Gotta love that. Can you hit the record button again?
Yep.
Sorry.
Those earmuffs are rather sweaty.
It's totally
Water
fine.
break.
Just don't tell the next person.
Oh.
See if. Whoa. Okay. Does it say record on it? Okay. Perfect. All right. Take two.
I didn't spill that on myself.
Never. That could never happen. You're Leah. Oh. Nope. You're right.
I slightly overfilled it. Just trying to stay hydrated. It's humid.
Something else that I've like really enjoyed is the camaraderie between you all and the fun that you're having. You know, could we get an explanation of the duck story and why there's a duck and the fun shenanigans that have been going on with Maritz's birthday and everything?
Oh yeah. Well, what's funny is like, so a lot of us know of each other because there's not many of us, so we all know of each other. We've either met or passed by or said hi at an SFMA conference, but we've never. I've talked to Morgan,
Yes.
talked to Maritza, talked to a few of them more intimately, and are closer friends. And then some of them I met for the first time, but I think us all understanding the pressure, not the pressure, but the significance
The
of
significance
this
of what we're
event
doing,
kind
yeah.
of brought us all together. But we're also all the same personalities. Like, we're all dudes in women's bodies that are just like...
You did not say that.
We are.
To an extent, yes.
We're all guy girls. Like, we all have more guy friends than girlfriends.
Okay.
We all...
And I mean, it's true, though.
No,
hang out with the
It's
dudes.
very
Like,
true.
we're used to being around the guys.
Just the way she said it was kind of
We're
like...
just
We're all
that
dudes and girls'
way.
bodies, you know?
We're just that way. And so I think we all got along on that level because we really aren't here for, like, the drama or the cattiness that, like, you sometimes get when
Grounds crew
large groups of women get together.
I don't really think you have that, though.
No, you don't have that at all because...
We're here for we're here for something, and we're all working towards the same goal. Like, I'm sure there are issues, but I mean, it's never like people running their mouths constantly.
Why would you do this?
No, we're all, like I said, we're all just dudes. And the duck story, came from,
somebody got interviewed.
I had told
famous.
the front office that I was taking vacation time, and they're like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And I said, "I'm going to go to the Little League Softball World Series with a bunch of women, and we're doing this."
Did they give you professional time, or did they make you take vacation?
I took PTO. I know. Anyway, it's for good cause.
My bad. Still,
And
it could have been nice.
Anyway, it's for
Come
good
on,
cause.
Reno Aces.
So I'm having this conversation, and they're like, "We would love to do like an interview if that's okay." And I was like, "Yeah, sure. Like, let's get the word out that we're
Sorry, they'll make you do an interview, but they won't give you professional time.
okay."
Sorry, it's my
you
turn to
done?
take a dump. Go ahead.
So I'm doing this interview one day during BP, and they're asking me what this is gonna be like. Same questions, kind of like right now, and just like it's really weird because I feel normal in my little bubble in Reno because like everybody knows the front office is like, oh, it's just Leah, she's the head groundskeeper, and like our team knows, oh, it's just Leah, she's the head groundskeeper. But once you get outside of your bubble and like you go to a SFMA conference or you go to another event, you realize you're one of very, very few, and you are actually an odd duck. You're the odd man out, and you kind of forget that until you come to an event like this now, where it's a bunch of odd ducks, and now we're all normal ducks because we're all the same, and you're not the odd man out anymore. Yeah. So that's kind of where the story came from.
Yeah, you're the odd duck now.
You're the odd duck.
I like it.
So we're all just a bunch of odd ducks.
Bring out random duck, sorry.
Yeah, that's how that happened, and then it kind of spun out. I don't know where that story went to, but it got to literally everybody, and
got to everyone. They brought ducks, and then
there's rubber ducks sitting in every one of our rental cars.
And whenever we have to break hands,
I was gonna say
it's
hands
quack,
and team.
Quack, quack.
It's not a go team. It's quack quack.
Yes, bunch of odd ducks.
The new Mighty Ducks. We'll say that. I'm gonna put that on a little turf duck shirt. You know. With everything, obviously, you guys are, again, industry professionals that are going to be the next generation of leadership. With something like this, where do you see the organization of the Sports Field Management Association sort of moving towards when it comes to events like this, more inclusive practices, more outreach to create more, again, interest, grow the industry, bring in new talent, stuff like that? What do you guys sort of see moving forward after this event?
I think we have to use the momentum because labor is going to keep getting harder and harder to find.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
doing this, getting women, men, whoever the person is or whatever in the industry.
I think it's a really great opportunity to showcase what we do, because so many people just show up to the field and it's ready, and they have no idea how or why it happened that way. And this is our chance to kind of highlight that in a very large-scale capacity, but we can take what we did here and then split it off into our personal stuff and show people, like, I did this at the Little League World Series, but I also do this in Reno. I did this at the Little League World Series, and I also do this at the City of Colorado, or City of Denver. I did this here, but so it's been cool because everyone asks us, you guys are from all over, right? And then they want to know, like, what we do, and you're kind of highlighting a bunch of different avenues without even knowing it. You can be in Parks and Rec, you can be in college, you can be in university athletics, you can be in professional athletics, you can be in
Sales.
field construction. Like, there are so many avenues that people don't know about when you first
look at the industry.
And so we are unintentionally just divulging all this information and showcasing it.
And that's pretty much why I'm here, is because there are so many of you that do different things. Like, again, this is the minor league groundskeeper one. Do you have whoop whoop? We have the young ones. We have students that are products of high school turf programs and field construction and product sales and all these different groups.
Which is awesome for all the youngins that are here, like our Texas A&M girls, for Julie, for Liz, because they can sit down and ask questions and figure out what avenue they want to go in. They can sit and ask Morgan and I pros and cons of professional baseball, minor league baseball, pros and cons of working for a city, pros and cons of field renovation and construction. Like, they can sit here with us in the trailer over a Mountain Dew and answer all of their questions, which is an incredible experience for them. And I hope.
When I even talked to Snap, is that
Megan.
So for those that don't know the story, there's 2 girls from Texas A&M. We'll have them on here in a bit. Was it Kelly that gave them the name?
Yeah, they
on
got
their
stuck
3 a.m. car ride.
in the car together because they all got delayed at the airport, so they all drove together.
And Kelly was like, they did nothing but Snapchat, right? And they're now Snap and Chat.
Yeah. But I was talking to Megan.
Sorry.
No, you're good. About, like, she's like, well, I want to, I don't know if this is for me. Like, I want to be able to go home to my family at 6 o'clock and have meals and everything. And it's like, there's different avenues in it. Like, you can still stay in turf. You just, maybe you want to go into sales or go into a different, maybe not baseball, but, there's a different route.
And I think that's big on, again, like you're saying, like talking to everyone that's here. Like, my big thing in the classroom is it's always been, guys, if there is something that you want to do, if there's somewhere you want to be, if there is like any area of the world you want to go, there's grass and it needs to be managed. If you want to work in the pros, make a pretty good paycheck that is probably more than what you would think you could make, you can go down that route. Or if you're okay with wanting to be in the boondocks with no one around you and you're okay working a golf course for pretty okay money, not great money obviously, you can go live on a mountain in Colorado and never talk to a person ever again, Want to go overseas, there are so many opportunities over there that it's not even funny, So being able to approach the situations that you want to take, it's all there. And I think sales is another one, like Kelly can speak to it, but like, you have your own schedule. You can figure out all those things. And it's something like professionals who are, again, like Luke Yoder, who's been doing it forever, who was a major league guy for over 10 years or whatever, moving into a sales position, probably for that reason of wanting to have time with the family and everything like that.
And the even better part about that is, so she's talking to Megan about wanting to have more time off. Well, I happen to know an NFL training practice facility guy who has the best job in the world, gets paid really good money.
Amazing money.
Really good money.
You're looking at me like,
he just maintains the practice facility. Yeah. That's his job. He's the head of the practice facility. He gets in at 7 and he leaves after practice, and that's all. No. And so we can connect so many pieces together because this industry is just so tight. Yeah. And you're one step away from knowing somebody who knows somebody. You just have to show interest in what you want, and I'm be like, okay, I can get you an internship there. Yeah. Okay, I can talk to so-and-so. Okay.
And I know it's redundant, but that's why this industry is so cool. Like I can call you in a minute if some kid says, I want to work minor league grounds crew somewhere. Yep. And even if it's not with you, there's going to be an opportunity with someone, So that's what, again, is awesome about it. With everything, and I want to go all like off-turf topic type. With everything, obviously there's a lot of stress, and you were talking about it with the event here. What are your sort of go-to relaxation, get away from the ballpark? Because it's so hard to get away from the ballpark, you know? You guys were talking about, like, you were on the phone with Max, like, 20 minutes ago with somebody, like, trying to figure out what's going on. Like, what's your outlet? You know what's funny? They don't have an outlet. That's why it's funny.
Well, we were just talking.
Yeah.
I was like, I physically have to leave the state for me to not go into the field. Even if it's an off day, like, I'll go in and spray in the morning, and, like, I'll hang out, do emails, and then I'll leave at noon. And, like, yeah, I'll take a half day, but, like, the last time I did not come into the field, I was in Arizona. Like, I had to literally be removed from the state for me to not go in.
We need to figure out your outlets, is what you're saying.
Well, I like to go, so thankfully I live close to Lake Tahoe, which is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous.
Nice, you know.
If I do get a half day like that, I will just drive up.
Full day. Full, yeah.
Those don't exist.
Don't go in.
If you don't go in, you at least have to drive by and make sure it's not burning down.
It's just like a little look over the fence.
I'll just check the security cameras real quick.
Yeah, I want that luxury.
I do love checking my security cameras. Also, your scream off days.
Oh yes, so I feel like Leah's the person that's gonna put baby cams everywhere. It's
I mean, we weren't sitting at breakfast this morning and she was watching them.
Okay, time out. Time out. First of all, I am 3 hours behind y'all, so I was checking my irrigation.
You should be wide awake
because we were sitting at breakfast at 7 o'clock and it was 4 a.m. there, so I was making sure the irrigation was running. We also have been having booster pump issues, so I wanted to make sure it was at full pressure. Otherwise, I'll have Max go in and restart it.
I've been at irrigation for 2 weeks. Go ahead, sorry.
So, yeah, I just got on the cameras, and then, at night,
wells.
after, games and stuff, I'll just prop my phone up on my, nightstand, my side table, and, at 11:30 when it's supposed to turn on, I, get on the security cameras.
Yeah, that healthy outlet. What were you talking about, Drew?
I watch the sprinklers go, and it puts me to sleep, knowing that the irrigation is running. I have problems. It's fine. That's why I'll die a single cat lady, and it's fine.
No, it's just funny because my mind is you know the calming app or whatever the sounds are. Hers is just your security footage. You know, you can hear the.
I just like watching the sprinklers go in circles until my eyes get heavy enough, and then I just fall asleep. I didn't say it was healthy. I'm just saying this stuff happens.
No. I mean, it's. I'm sorry. We got to figure out an outlet. Just a little bit of one.
I do. I go hiking to Tahoe, and I sit at the beach on the rocks, and I smell the fresh pine trees. I jump in the fresh alpine water. I refresh. I regroup.
And I go right back to the stadium.
Yeah.
No.
I binge watch trash TV.
What's your? Well, okay. Let's get into this. So, trash TV. What's your go-to show?
Oh,
don't worry. We're coming to your outlet next because I'm pretty sure you probably have a healthier one.
Married at First Sight.
Really?
Love that. Little Love Island. Little Bachelorette.
Oh my gosh.
Just watching other people.
Did you watch The Challenge?
Yeah. I just like watching other people make me look more normal.
She wants to see if they watch irrigation security as well.
She's content with it. She's happy.
I'm happy. I'm fine with it. Okay.
No Netflix shows or anything? Reality TV?
Don't have time to watch Netflix.
I mean, you could shut the irrigation videos off and watch Netflix. All right, I'm done. I'm a nice person. I got to go back to that. Morgan, what is your sort of outlet when it comes to everything?
Not much of one. Columbia's a very odd place.
Do you watch irrigation when you fall asleep? Or
No, I don't.
You're good? Okay.
No.
Glad.
Columbia's just a odd place. I'm a very outdoorsy person.
And Columbia's not that.
Yeah. When I'm back home, I'll be hunting or building something.
See, that's an outlet.
Yeah.
How far would you have to go to hunt in Columbia?
I don't know. I haven't looked into it. But I have to
Haven't had time.
Yeah. Yeah.
20 more games, and then that's the first thing you look up,
18.
okay?
It is kind of actually vacation because we were talking about yesterday. Tarp pole wasn't my call or your call or it was someone else's call.
It was something that felt
you
good.
were sitting there on radar, do we, don't we,
just
thinking about it, calling the weatherman, making that choice.
What do we got? What are we doing? What's
having to disappoint the teams,
all the
having
fans.
to tell ESPN, having to do all that
Oh,
stuff.
look who showed up finally.
Thank you. We've been having issues. Well, he's been having issues. Are you shocked?
What?
It's just not working. Wow. She's coming after me again, Morgan. I don't know what's going on. Did I say something?
No, I'm just trying to keep you humble.
You and the humbleness.
I keep myself
What was
humble.
that? What was that you were like, I gotta bring you back down a peg?
I don't know.
Oh, God.
Everything I say to you.
What, is it just that good? Okay. back to the pod. Sorry, what were you saying?
Every time I go on vacation, it's a running joke in my family that like I go see a field. It's like I don't have to work, but like if I'm in Miami, I'm gonna reach out to somebody to go tour that field. If I'm in Phoenix, I'm gonna reach out to Grant to come say hi. If I'm in wherever, like I just want to go see as many fields and facilities and talk to as many head groundskeepers and get different ideas and stuff all the time, and like getting to see everybody's shops and getting to see everybody's fields and getting the tour and understanding like what everybody does day to day is a really cool thing that like accountants don't go on vacation and go to another accounting firm and be like, I want to watch you count
see your
numbers.
cubicle?
Yeah, it's like a weird
see your
thing that
cubicle,
only
please?
groundskeepers do. It's so freaking weird, but like we all do it.
It's really not, though. I mean, it's the field is something else. Like you're getting in a stadium, you're gonna see something beautiful. Like it's you're networking at the same time. I mean, I went and saw Peter in San Diego when I was there, and you hooked that up.
Peter's the best. Shout out Peter.
Shout out Peter.
NDSU grad, go Bison.
Was that like a sign for Bison, whatever you
Yeah,
know?
horns up.
Isn't that somewhere else?
That's
it's
Texas,
Texas.
but NDSU does it too.
This is the VT. Did it backwards. A little hokey.
Can't hear anything.
Can you hear me now?
Oh.
Uh-oh. Did it unplug?
What have you done? I unplugged it.
Leah. Taking a dump on me, bro. Sabotaging her
You can
mic.
fire me. You can fire me at any time.
No, you can just, it just goes right in. Should just.
All right. Here we
Voila. Can you hear us?
Harris. Yep.
This is going to be the most random podcast put
If
together.
you're listening to this, I
We
apologize.
appreciate you
profusely.
staying this long, you know? So, back to the outlets type thing. Do you have any shows that are not Love Island that you like? Because I kind of feel like you don't watch Love Island.
My cousin watches that a lot, so I have
Oh, there you
become
go.
invested in some of them weird
It's
little shows.
so it's so dumb. It is so dumb. I'm not saying it's not dumb.
Leah's like, I hate myself for watching it, but I just can't not look.
Because it's something you don't have to think about after
Yeah.
like a long day. You don't have to focus on like the storylines are simple, like, and you can just not think, and it's kind of nice for
nice
like
little-
30 minutes of your day.
I watch
Till the-
sometimes Welcome to Plathville. It's on
Okay,
TLC. That
okay.
is messed up, and it's same thing.
I hate
Gotcha.
myself for watching it.
Yeah, you normally
turn
don't
my
announce
eyes.
it that's what you
I
watch. but
can't
you're
turn
like,
my eyes away from it. No, I hear you. I guess I have too much time on my hands. I watch too much TV compared to you guys.
Well, you won't. School started now.
You guys, I'm telling you, like 2 p.m. is it? It's over.
Yeah, but you go out and you
I do
paint
a
the
lot.
fields. You go out and
It's still not close to what you do.
do stuff. Yeah, well, we get 6 months
Well, I couldn't deal with the kids, so.
more normal hours. I don't know. His kids.
Okay, his kids
The
are
kids
100%
I've met
different.
of yours
But yeah,
are
I have 200 kids.
amazing.
You've
Okay,
met
well,
9,
the 20
Solid
I have
9.
met or talked to are great.
Yeah.
Yes, I do love my kids. They're awesome. They do. What's great is the kids that aren't gonna do this. Like I can tell usually, like within like the first year of it, it's like okay, they're really not interested, but they love to like, again, be a part of it. And I think that's also what's great about the programs at the high school level is by showing like what you guys are, and again, that's why we do the podcast is like to introduce like these are real people behind what I'm teaching you. Like this isn't just NPK, this is what's going to help this is why we aerate. Like there are people out here that do this for a living, make sure that everybody's playing, whether it's in a professional stadium, Little League, Parks and Rec, right now Little League World Series, you know, just making sure that we're showing people that this is way more than just grass and cutting it, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah,
No, your kids are great, and it's not like every kid that takes pottery is gonna become an artist.
100%.
Not every kid that takes turf is gonna end up doing it, but you get a good percentage probably that end up turning maybe their first year into 2 years, and then 3 years, and then they're like, maybe I can do this in college.
Yeah.
Maybe I want to do this, and like that percentage is more than most people can even try to get people into this industry doing. So
Yeah, that was Julie's story. She, I remember she came to me. She's like, "You think I could do this?" I was like, "Yeah. It's pretty much up to you whether or not you want to, you know." And I never brought up any like the pressures of being a female in the industry. I was more like, you could probably beat out a lot of the guys because I know a lot of the guys, and a lot of them don't do their job well, and a lot of them don't care to do their job well. So,
know a few of those.
Laugh that one off.
but again, like it's simple little things, just giving them the opportunity and being a part of what it is, you know. Any fun off-season stuff coming up? You got any? I'm just thinking about this design that Mac's about to send. I kind of want to see it. Probably not gonna be allowed to see it, but
Let's see if he's finished. My seasonal texted me. That's never good.
So, boss, the irrigation video, you don't want to turn that on tonight. We do not want you seeing the big gaping hole in center field.
Can you turn the outfield water off? I didn't know the water was running. I don't know why the water is running.
Live streaming it. She's watching her irrigation again. So, off-season, Morgan, where, I mean, this is probably your first one, like, that you're going to be able to, like, take a deep breath and, like, okay, the weight's a little bit off, get ready for next season, obviously, but what are you looking forward to for the off-season? You're 18 games. She's 21?
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, I listen sometimes.
I think my biggest thing is going to be going into an off season where I've already been the head person, so I can kind of change a lot of the stuff I didn't like or learn from, and kind of plan better than this last year, because it was just kind of hair on fire. You know, you're going like.
Here we go, another
the
one.
first year is just keeping your head above water.
Yeah.
It's literally just.
I walk
trying
in
not
every
to
day and I'm
drown.
like, it's not dead. Like that's literally like.
The bar's low.
Well, I mean, it kind of has to be because there's so much that you're learning. Like you said, the office work is insane.
The learning curve is huge and fast,
Yeah.
and you have to just roll with whatever punch you get.
Yeah.
And the second year, you finally, like, it feels like you were in, like, 5 times speed the first year, and then you finally move back to, like, 2 times speed, where, like, things are still happening chaotically, but you've now built a FERT program that you're kind of comfortable with. You've started taking soil tests to start building better, hopefully. And then, like, you started learning your infield, so you know how much water it can and cannot take. You learn your area and, like, tracking weather. You learn kind of more of your management style. And when you go to hire an assistant or intern or whatever, like, who is going to match with you better. You kind of learn all of that in 1 year, while trying to keep playing surface alive and safe and playable
And
every
up to
single
their
day for
standard.
9 months.
Yeah.
So, like, it's a lot in the first year, and then the second year, you're finally got your head more above water. You got your arms to work with, and you're floating. So it's a little bit easier.
I just love how passionate you guys are about everything. It's awesome.
I love my job. I have to tell people constantly because I feel like they don't believe me. Because trust me, there are some days I'm
There's always
over
those
it.
days.
You get to that like 80th hour in the
Yeah.
week, and you're like, "Whoo, buddy."
What are we
Like,
doing
I don't,
right
like,
now?
what are the other options? What other opportunities are there out there? And then there's a point I have most post games. So, like, I drag the infield post game. By the time I'm done dragging and the mount and everything's tarped and good to go, and the fans have left the stands, I have to go up and turn our water off in the right field corner for the game, and I go turn it back on to soak the infield. And, like, as I'm walking back down the, like, seating bowl, like, you get the skyline of Reno, like, the stadium lights are on, it's finally quiet, like, you look at the field and you're like, holy crap, like, I just did all of that. I don't know where my day went. It still feels like 10 a.m. for some reason. I don't know how I just worked 15 hours. But you're standing there in, like, complete peace and, like, fulfillment, I guess is the only word I can think. Yeah.
Honestly, like,
And then it keeps you to come in the next day.
And then you get there and you're like, "Oh my god, it's so crazy!" And then again,
Same thing, it's
post game,
just
like, okay,
that might be the perfect word.
The exhale,
You
and
know?
then like, you
Fulfillment.
inhale with, like, being fulfilled with your job. Like, I did something that seemed impossible. And
I don't know how you, like, put it into a branding, but fulfillment might be the word
That's
of
the only word I
turf
can
management.
think of right now.
Well, because like if you go like in the off season, like you're in the office and stuff, like I'm not sweating, I'm not like doing manual labor. I go home and I feel like I've literally done nothing, even though I've done maybe 6 hours of computer work.
Yeah.
But I could come in like on a Saturday and spend 3 hours repacking a mound or doing something, and I've like physically drained myself, and that's where I'm like, okay, this was like a good day.
Absolutely. But yeah, I mean, like,
It blacked out again.
I think this is Leah's new favorite thing. Seriously, I'm getting.
I blacked out for a second, and I was like,
Seriously, what's wrong? What's wrong? Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, Morgan. Liz, is it back?
Also, Liz is the cutest. She just sits in the corner just smiling. Every time I look over at her, she has the biggest smile on her face, and she's just like...
yeah. I was giving her crap earlier with Maritza, and she did not know how to handle it.
She'll get there. She's just a little,
So
little soft
it was
still.
funny because I forget what it was. I think we were building a podcast studio, and I was like, I'm going down to the Little League World Series to podcast and whatnot. And she's like, can I come? I was like, what do you mean? She's like, can I be a part of it? I'm like, I can't ask. I don't know if I can
But
promise
again, it's
it.
ask the question. The
Yeah.
answer's always no until you ask.
That is very true. Very true. And she's definitely enjoyed all of it. So hopefully ECU went well over there. So
Well, her note in our little Tiger Turf Grass care package we got, I got a little note from her, and she made me cry, so I hope she feels good about that.
she did you call me or text me? I think you called me, actually.
I think I called you, and
It
I was
was-
like, did you read this? And he was like, no. Why
I was
would
like, what are you
read
talking
your
about? I was like, I
personal
didn't do
note?
anything.
He was like, she just told me to put it in here, and I was like sobbing, and I was like, she's making my heart melt.
No, and that's how I found out she was interested in doing sports turf and baseball. You know?
I'm pretty sure Amy said something about letting her flood tonight.
Yeah, and she
Like,
wants
get
to
her on
do
the
it
hose, yeah.
tonight at
Remind me to take pictures because I
Yeah.
do need to get
today
Her
at
eyeballs
lunch.
got huge,
Yeah,
and she's
today
like,
at
okay.
lunch she was like, we need to get you on the hose, and she's like, I'll do it. And like her eyes got huge, and she was like, we'll probably late post game flight. You can't mess that up. And she was like, okay. And I was like, well, unless you don't put enough water on it, then you mess it up. And she's like, okay.
You're making her nervous
Like,
over
there's
time. You're like,
15
you can
of
do
us,
this.
we'll-
You can't do
we'll
this. You
throw
can
you
do
to
that.
Red
Yes.
No, she is excited to learn. I'm really happy for her, and I'm really happy she got here. And it was cool to meet her. It was a surprise. I didn't know she was going to be here. She'd make me cry again.
I told you. I texted her the night before. I was like, I have a surprise for you. She was like, what? I was like, don't worry about it. You'll see tomorrow. But no, again, it's just
black.
This podcast has been brought to you by Blackout. I can't do bugs. Maybe that's why I meant to be on the West Coast, because bugs, I'm out.
I was gonna say anywhere on
I don't
the
know
East Coast,
how-
it is like
I don't know how I got out of my entomology lab in college, but
you didn't
thank
have to take
God.
entomology.
I took like
That's
the class.
the worst class ever.
I took the
liked
lecture,
it.
but I got out of the lab.
It wasn't
somehow.
even that. It was the fact that it wasn't the bugs. It was the fact that we had to have the Latin name right and
Oh,
the
yeah.
common name.
Oh,
And it
yeah.
had to be spelled right or you failed. I was
Yeah.
like, guess what? I'm failing. I know what it is. But
I can't even spell in English.
yeah, exactly.
Oh.
That was
No.
the same thing as the Woody's class, going around like all the trees and whatnot. I was like,
I didn't have to do that one.
I did not do that one.
Chemiciparus Virginiani, and I would just put a CH instead of a K or
We
whatever.
had the weeds
Oh,
class. We had to do that for it.
Yeah. See, you guys had a very, again, Dr. Coley, don't come after me. I love the program and everything. You guys were much more focused on turf. I don't know if you were. Ohio State wasn't?
No.
Really?
Ohio State does their turf program weird. It's with agronomy
That's what we are.
and like two
We
other
were
ones.
with
I only
crop
took,
and
there's
weed
only
science.
2 specific turf management classes.
So we
That's
had
it.
more than
We've got
2.
more, but yeah,
Okay.
but it wasn't.
But it was a lot of
Shout
like
out Pam. Love you, Pam.
my soils classes were all like, here's how to detect phosphorus deficiencies in corn and potassium deficiency in soybeans. And I'm like, this is
That's-
helpful to
Yeah.
That's where I was
everybody
at.
else,
I was
but
like,
not me.
spores on a canker
Yeah.
on a pear tree. I'm like, I really need to know this. This is great.
Yeah.
That was another hard class.
It's
Professor
important,
Bogwan.
and I do understand it, and it does kind of relate, but
Yeah.
it would have been nice to have a more...
I'm pretty sure I cried my first 2 weeks through plant pathology.
I think it's black again.
It is. All right.
Son of a biscuit. All right, this is the last one. Otherwise, we're cutting it off.
Do you have a special ending?
What do you want to do?
I don't know. I'm asking you. Are you just end these?
I wasn't gonna end it. I was just gonna keep talking, but this is pissing me off.
This has been Tiger Turfgrass with Drew Miller.
You know that's not me, right? That's my older brother. The intro thing.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was you.
It's what?
Absolutely not.
Who is it?
Brother?
Do you know the intro thing?
Yeah.
The Tiger Turf Talk. That's my brother, not me. She thought it was me.
I did too.
Nope.
Wow, you just...
Guys, I'm not that weird. Come on. Only my brother.
Thought you were a self-made man. Did this all by yourself.
No, my brother helps me out with
Wow.
a lot of stuff. Shout out to John.
Shout out to the blackout screen.
Son of a... Ooh. I'm coming.
Just tip it over. Bugs. Clank, clank,
Oh my gosh.
It's been a long 2 days.
It's been a long 2 days.
Everybody, I apologize. It's been last night, but we worked
We got here at
14-hour day.
Yeah.
Pulled the tarp twice.
Through 40 bags of conditioner.
Real lot of And
By the way, Morgan according to Amy County, has the best
chicken feet.
ever.
Motion.
I was like, okay. That's big time right there.
Yeah.
Coming from County, you know? It still hurts. It hurts to like think about how much.
Yeah.
There's a lot of conditioner. It had to happen.
Oh no, 100%.
Yeah, it was a little cringy for us who spend their whole day trying to keep conditioner out of the grass. Just dumping 40 bags of it into the grass.
Like it's a normal thing, you know?
So it was a long. Yesterday was a long day. Split 4 games. We got 2 in. We got 1 and 8 nights in before we hurt. Our second game went into extras, and we were 4 hours away from it being over. And
God,
that little cell just to the west got real big and real fast.
Red. There was some red.
Also shout out to what are those guys called? Extreme Tough.
Extra tough.
Extra tough for real.
Sponsors. We represented
grass boot. That's what we need.
Printed grass boots.
We represented you well yesterday. Out on the field.
Another fun story about this week going again, right?
So a bunch of us West Coasters. I've pulled more in 8 hours yesterday than I have all year in Reno. So
everyone thinks like this girl.
I'm not
kidding me.
So I packed extra socks. But I don't have like rain boots or like wet gear. I have a rain jacket somebody else sent me from Minnesota United. Shout out Mitch. And I don't own any rain gear. So we went yesterday during our rain delay in the morning. We're going to be out for about 3 to 4 hours before that whole storm passed. And a bunch of us were like, Chris had said that there's a store that sells them. And it was quite the shoe store.
It
was huge. Many selections. Went with red, white, navy for Ace colors.
God bless America.
So that worked out. And a bunch of us ended up buying a couple pairs, and we represented.
You bought a couple pairs?
I bought one pair of those and one pair of the boots that are a little more insulated for Reno winters.
Gotcha. Are the winters bad there?
Yeah, it cools down quite a bit. We get some snow.
Oh, that's right. It was snowing. Your first game.
Yeah, it's the first time. I don't know what it is. I can't break it. It either snows on opening day or opening day. Somewhere around opening day.
It's been off.
We gave up. We quit. We just talking.
It's not work. Yeah.
She's so disappointed in you.
Dude, that's like most kids.
It's funny because like someone else will do something wrong, and then look at like I did it. I'm like, what do you want me to? I'm gonna fix it. Like disappointed. I was like, okay, sorry, you know.
My bad.
No, yeah. It's been a chaotic couple years for sure, but no. with everything, again, I want to thank you guys for
We
weathering.
started a new drinking game that every time Drew says with everything.
We already have
a drinking game.
I'm gonna start listening to your podcast and every time
I hate listening to it because
there are those cues.
I'm going to
That's
start
incredible.
listening.
I couldn't agree with you more.
It's so bad.
I'm like,
People
are like, oh, you're so good at this. No one's not.
Take one, and then every time you say it, we have to take a drink. With everything.
Then we'll stumble out.
There's the game 6 of the Football Little League World Series. The woman fell down painting a line.
Electrocuted yesterday.
Yeah, that would have been crazy.
Oh,
It's still recording, right?
Okay.
Okay, we'll finish up here in a second.
Wrap
Are
it
they
up.
winning or losing? Are they the home team?
Yes.
All right. So I was going to wrap it up anyways until the drinking game came up. Obviously, you guys are familiar with how we wrap things up. What do you think? And we'll focus on this event. What would be your best words of advice? Not just for young females or just young people who are interested in doing something, being a part of something so incredible like this event.
Don't say no to opportunity and always ask about opportunity. Because you can create it.
My advice is always the answer is always no until you ask. Like it's legit. Like until you ask the question, like you don't know what the answer's going to be. So just ask somebody who can participate if you are interested in something. If you want to know more about something.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank my two of my favorite people in this industry for taking the time. Sorry.
Probably not your favorite husband.